thought we got off to we had a great fall, very solid overall, and thought that the players really came in prepared, ready to go right away, had great summers, and put a lot of time in. You could just see that in how they came in and how they prepared. They were ready to go and got off to a solid start. I also thought they worked really hard during the off season over Christmas break, and I thought we had a lot of individual development that really was strong. And I thought we got off to a good start early in the spring, hit a little bit of a lull in the middle where I don't think we ever played poorly. We just maybe weren't as consistent as we needed to be. I think some of that is the time of the year around here. We're kind of trying to get out of winter, get into spring. It at times affects what you're doing from a practice standpoint. There's just some inconsistencies just even in your preparation, but we just try to, you deal with it, and you have to be prepared. And so I thought maybe there was a little bit of a roller coaster ride through the middle. Played very well 2 weekends ago down in Mexico at an event that the University of Iowa hosted, and really saw a lot more consistency. And I think it coincides as well with some of the changes in the weather, and practices have been good. Practices have been really solid the last few weeks. We're back into some qualifying rounds. The players are definitely starting to kind of hit their stride, and we're excited to go and to head down to Cincinnati this weekend. The 6 players that we're going to be traveling with: Brooke Farrell, Gabby Curtis, Michelle Chung, Nat Zhang, Jessica Reinecke, and Becky Klonglin. Those are the 6 that will be making that trip. And like I said, I think we're all anxious to get started and looking forward to the tournament. Take questions.
I know Brooks has. Hi there, Todd. She's had a nice senior season, hasn't she? I think 6 top 10 finishes throughout the entire year. That's pretty stellar, isn't it?
Yeah, she's had more than just a nice season. She's had an exceptional senior year. Brooke is. I mean, Brooke's going to leave with just about every statistical record that the university has when she graduates. She's been remarkable for us for 4 years, and this senior year has really been no exception. She's just continued to build and continued to improve, and I've been really proud of just how she approaches everything and just her preparation, and she's a really strong player, and she's had a great senior year, and I know she's really excited about heading down to the championships and wants to see it finish strong.
Continuing with Brooke, she has a chance to continue professional on in her career along with some other seniors that are up and coming in your program. How can that hurt or help her kind of with the rest of her collegiate goals she has the rest of this year?
I don't think it hurts at all. Over the years, the players that have had those professional aspirations and goals to continue to play, I think that's only helped them. I mean, they've really, you can see it in their preparation, their practice. They don't have that kind of that finality to their senior season quite as much. They know that it's just another step in their process of their goals that they have as a golfer. And so, I see her continuing to work really hard in practice, and I see her focus be very geared towards development and always trying to find ways to improve and find ways to clean up areas that are shortcomings and where she maybe isn't as sharp as she wants to be, and yet continue to enhance and develop her strengths. So, and you're right, there are other players that are in the program that have similar goals and have that end result of wanting to try to continue to play professionally. And so over the years when I've had those players, I've seen it as a positive. It doesn't distract them. It just motivates them and continues to push them forward.
Do you see, I would assume your players feel this way, a chance to do some serious damage at the Big Tens here? I noticed just looking through your other results, Illinois looks pretty good. I know Purdue had topped you in one event. I think Michigan as well. Iowa's up there too. Yeah. But what do you think?
Yeah, we're very optimistic about the event and about the tournament. I mean, I think we definitely feel like, when you go into a golf tournament, the reality is there's certain teams and certain players that probably have an opportunity to compete to win the golf tournament. And I feel like we have one of those teams. And I think the players feel the same way. We're going to take 6 players down there with us that have all shot in the 60s throughout their career. Heck, I think all of them have shot in the 60s, maybe even yet this year. So it might be as deep of a team as I've ever taken to a Big Ten championship, with as much, I don't know if firepower is the right word, but you know, when they play well and they get it going, they have the ability to put that kind of pressure on a golf course. And so yeah, I think we're optimistic and excited about that opportunity. At the same point, really have a lot of respect for the people that we play against. And our golf conference, the Big Ten, has turned into a really strong women's golf conference. And, you know, we're probably dealing with 6 teams ranked in the top 50 in the country, maybe 8 in the top 60. We'll see where this new ranking comes out. But it's a very deep league right now with a lot of really high-quality golfers and a lot of great play.
Mentioned the roster with so much potential and experience this year. What
Yeah.
strategy did you use to kind of pick your roster throughout the year? Then how'd you pick the 6 you're taking this week?
Well, it shifts a little bit depending on the time of the year overall. I know you asked about maybe this week, but in the fall when the players come in, there's a lot of competition. I mean, you know, the players have all worked really hard during the off season. You have qualifying rounds and qualifying opportunities, and then you know, the scores, they don't lie. They tell a story and they tell a picture, or they tell the story of what you're doing. So I think the competition that's created, I think that's good for programs. I think that's good for teams. I think truly competitive people embrace that, and so I think that our players like that, and it brings out the best in them. When we get to the spring, a lot of the early season lineup is maybe selected based on what's happened in the fall. We do have some strategies to try and offset that, though. A training trip, the opportunity to bring an individual whenever possible to some of our events to get some more opportunity for players is something that we always are striving for, and try to look for those opportunities when we can. As I mentioned, now the last couple of weekends we've been able to qualify and get out and actually get back to competing for some opportunities in some positions. I think in general, we have a lot of depth, but I think the thing that the players, I hope that they recognize and that they see, and I feel that the program kind of holds them accountable in the sense that consistency is rewarded, and consistently strong play is rewarded. And then any inconsistencies or mediocre play gets held accountable. And I don't think that that's anything out of the ordinary in successful programs, right? And I think that's kind of, the players see that and they understand that, and it continues to motivate them and push them and hopefully brings out the best in them.